In a time before time, when eternity knew no shadow, there was a being of light called Lucifer. Created by God as a glorious angel, his presence was comparable to the rising sun itself. The heavenly hosts admired him, and he shone like the jewel of creation, adorned with splendor and beauty, radiant like a star that never fades. His name, Lucifer, meant light-bearer, and he was destined to be a reflection of God's glory. He was a ruler among the angels, a leader whose power and beauty seemed eternal. But as many ancient stories show us, beauty can become a curse. Lucifer began to see his own light and became enchanted with it. Day by day, he no longer saw the glory as a reflection of the Creator, but as something that belonged to him. Pride sprouted within him like a seed, and over time it grew into an immense tree, its branches reaching to the heavens, attempting to usurp the very divine throne. Pride began as a simple mirror, but became an abyss into which he would be lost. In a moment of eternal tension, something within Lucifer broke. He looked at God, who sat at the center of the throne, surrounded by unattainable light, and thought, "Why not me?" This thought, so small and yet so devastating, echoed throughout heaven like a storm. He began to question why he, the most beautiful, the wisest, should submit. And thus, the desire to be like God inflamed his heart. A desire that, silent at first, began to erode his essence. It was not a cry of rebellion, but a whisper that spread among those who also felt that perhaps there was something more, a greater power to be seized. Thus, Lucifer began to plant the seeds of doubt in the hearts of other angels. He enchanted them with promises of freedom, of a kingdom where all could be God's. The idea of breaking free from divine servitude was tempting to some, and they began to rally around him, seduced by the vision of a new realm. Texto Padrão. But heaven is not a place that allows division. The harmony of millions of voices worshiping the Creator was replaced by a dissonant noise, a murmur of dissatisfaction and conspiracy. And God, who sees all, perceived the unrest in his kingdom. In Lucifer's heart now burned a flame that could no longer be extinguished. He openly rebelled, convinced he was strong enough to dethrone God himself. War was about to begin. The battle in heaven was indescribable, a war not of swords or spears, but of will, of light and darkness in collision. Michael, the archangel of justice, led the resistance against Lucifer and his followers. The heavens trembled as the armies clashed, and the stars seemed to flicker as if they were witnessing with fear the events taking place. And finally, Lucifer and his allies were defeated. The price of his ambition was the fall, an eternal exile away from the glory and light of the Creator. The moment of his fall is described in heartbreaking images. Like lightning, Lucifer was expelled from the heavens, cast into the depths, his brilliance transformed into darkness. That star, which once reflected divine splendor, now fell, burning like a fire consuming itself. And along with him, a legion of fallen angels, those who had believed in his vision, plunged into the abyss of despair. But Lucifer's punishment was not just losing heaven, it was losing his identity. From light-bearer, he became Satan, the adversary. His beauty turned into a dark mask, his brilliance transformed into a burning flame of hatred and vengeance. He who was once a leader of praise became a symbol of rebellion, and thus darkness and separation from the Creator became his new domain, a realm of desolation and pain that he himself had created. However, Lucifer's story is not only about his fall, but also about the mystery of freedom. Why would God create someone so perfect and give him the freedom to rebel? The answer lies in the heart of free will, a divine gift that carries with it both the possibility of light and of darkness. Lucifer had the freedom to choose, and his choice led to separation and chaos. It is a reminder that true worship and love can only exist when there is the possibility of choice. Since his fall, Lucifer has worked tirelessly to destroy everything that God loves. His hatred is deep, but his ambition has never been extinguished. He seeks to deceive humanity, divert focus from God, replicating in the hearts of men the same seed of pride that once led to his downfall. And so the mystery of evil remains. An angel who had everything, who knew perfection, chose to turn against his own origin out of a desire for power. Lucifer is a tragic character, almost Shakespearean, whose story reminds us of the danger of pride and the power of choice. His fall not only affected the heavens, but also gave rise to a spiritual battle that still reverberates in the world today. With every choice we make, Every act of humility or pride, we echo a bit of that ancient battle in heaven. And perhaps by reflecting on Lucifer's story, we can learn something about our own nature and the path we choose to follow.